What is going on, guys? It is Wheelman again, and I've got part 2 today of my Halo 4. I don't want to call it a Halo 4 commentary because that's kind of misleading, because obviously Halo 4 isn't out yet, but Halo Reach commentary about Halo 4, and there's some more info I wanted to give you guys. So before I start, by the way, this is a game of SWAT on Reflection that I was playing a few nights ago with some friends, Poner Bust and Mega Doomer again. They are a lot of fun to play with. I have some other friends I play with as well, but this was just this one particular night. So there's for some reason around I think it's the like 4-minute 30 seconds mark or something like that of the video, I start to suck for some reason for about a minute or a minute and a half, and then I pick it back up again. But I don't know. We all have those moments. Anyway. What I wanted to get into in this video is some of the stuff that I didn't have time for in yesterday's video about Halo 4, which, by the way, keep liking that video. I've got a subscription from that video. I've got a like on it already, maybe multiple likes, so keep up the support, guys. I really appreciate it, and let's get into this. It's a continuation of yesterday's video, so what I wanted to talk about right now is some of the campaign stuff that I couldn't get to yesterday, and that is a lot of the campaign deals with, apparently in the campaign in Halo 4, a lot of it deals with Cortana's rampancy. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, rampancy is basically, within the Halo universe, okay, Cortana's a smart AI, AI being artificial intelligence. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with that. But she's a smart AI, and that means she can hold, like, multitudes of data, I guess, a lot of data, a lot more data and information than a normal AI could. But a side effect of that, a downside to that, is that after a certain number of years, and it's only like, I think like 10 years, something like that, smart AI start to exhibit signs of rampancy. They go sort of the equivalent of like insanity for humans. They kind of get, a little bit off, and they can't process information quite as quickly, and they start to move into this cycle of their processing goes away basically, and they go mad, they go insane. So that's a big part of the campaign. They're not hiding. Bungie 343 Industries isn't hiding that that storyline. That's part of the main thing of the campaign, and I think that's cool. That's a new. It brings a new element of like imminent danger into the story, because in Halo 3 we had to rescue Cortana, and she's already been damaged by the Grave Mind, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how that element of rampancy and Cortana's, imminent deterioration plays out, especially with regard to her relationship with Chief, because Master Chief and Cortana have a relationship that within the Halo universe isn't usually seen between AI and humans. But anyway, that's one really interesting element of the storyline, and I hope that they flesh that out in the coming months. Assassination. But, yeah, aside from that, another interesting story point is the Forerunners. Now, in the previous Halo games, we see Forerunner structures. That's all we know about the Forerunners, is that it's slowly introduced to us that they predated the humans by like 100,000 years, and they, humans are the most direct descendants of Forerunners, and they have all these structures around Earth, and they built the Halos and all that, and the Ark. But we don't really know much about them as a race, as like a species. So this is going to deal with that. Now, 343 won't say yet, at least, if we're going to see Forerunners themselves in the game, but I personally think it's likely. They did say they're going to have all new enemy classes that are non-Covenant and non-Flood. So that should be, and here's where the failing starts, by the way. Watch this. This is horrible. Am I thinking of the... Nope. Oh, that's a good shot. I'm thinking of the wrong part. Anyway, distracted again. They're going to be not Flood and not Covenant, so there aren't too many options for what they can be, unless 343 wants to introduce either the Forerunners or a completely new species to the Halo universe, and that would be a big change for Halo. There it is. There's the terrible shot. Look at that. Oh, come on. That's horrible. That's just embarrassing. But I think we all have those moments in Reach sometimes. Anyway, aside from that, one of the Forerunner structures, like I said, there are a lot of structures that we see on Earth, and stuff like that throughout the previous Halo games. Of course, we all know that moment in Combat Evolved where this cave is not a natural formation. Oh, you don't say! Like, Cortana has that obvious statement. But one of the Forerunner structures that you're going to be seeing, the main one, is a shield world. The game is going to take place on a shield world. Now, what a shield world is basically a planet. It's natural formation. The planet itself is a natural formation. But there's Forerunner, like a Forerunner artificially constructed shield that the Forerunners made that goes around the entirety of the planet. So when you crash land on this planet at the beginning of Halo 4, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure it's in that Game Informer thing that I linked in the description of the last video, but I can't recall the name of the planet. Somebody can feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what the planet is called. But it's a shield world. There's a giant, basically metal like sphere surrounding the planet, so you're inside the whole time. You're inside the sphere, and you look up into the skybox, and there's like big like metal pillars, and it's a big ball you're inside of essentially. So basically, not basically, but that's really cool. I think that's really interesting. Apparently, the Forerunners constructed those to possibly shield themselves from the devastating effects of the Halo rings, as I get betrayed by Mega Doomer here. So does that open up the possibility that we might see Forerunners that survive the initial firing of the Halos to wipe out the Flood and all other sentient life? I mean, it opens up so many possibilities. It's just a really interesting story point. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about with regard to the campaign, the single player. Now, the other stuff I wanted to talk about, and like I said, by the way, hopefully new information will come out, like they did with the Reach multiplayer beta information and just beta information in general, on the information on the game in general in the months that came before Reach. But what I wanted to talk about with multiplayer is, I didn't see any armor permutation things. I know we all love the Reach and Halo 3 and all those, how you can customize your armor. But I didn't see any of that. They made a specific point in the Game Informer article to say, like, well, the person playing didn't really have anything to say or show with regard to armor perms, and I'm worried that's not going to be a part of the game. I mean, part of me is like, yeah, it'll always be a part of the game, but I don't know. That's I'm kind of on the fence about that right now on what I think is going to be included. Definitely have hopes for customizable armor. I mean, I love customizing my armor. I love the way my Spartan looks in Reach. It's perfect, in my opinion, but yeah, it's a cool element of uniqueness. But speaking of things being unique within Halo, what they are going to include is something that I've been arguing for in what should be included in a Halo game for a long time now, and that's loadouts. You will have customizable loadouts in terms of guns, like weapons and armor abilities, and maybe attachments. I'm not sure if that's how that's going to work, but in terms of every time you are ready to respawn, you can customize a loadout, and then you can choose it, and you get more and more attachments and weapons as you go on, as you progress through the multiplayer ranks. So that's going to be really awesome. That's basically the information that I have right now on Halo 4. So if you like this video, please like it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumb it down. Subscribe to the channel, go like the Facebook page. But other than that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and have an awesome day.